Now, if you're struggling to get that squat move in your swing like you're seeing a lot of the top pros doing, there's two things that I see almost every single player that struggles with this do exactly the same. Let me go ahead and give you number one here. So the first one is their weight shift, or your weight shift if you're struggling with this, is going to the right way too late. A lot of times I'll see players start with their weight maybe a little bit on the left side. They'll get to the top of the swing, the weight's still going to the right, and they'll wait to the downswing to begin to shift their weight back to the left. Not only will that lead to inconsistent shots, especially a lot of heavy and thin shots, mostly chunks behind the ball, but it'll also lead to almost making it impossible to get that squat move. What we want to do here is we want to feel like you start with your weight going to the right almost before the club even comes back. So if I kind of exaggerate this, my weight is moving to my right foot before I even start my backswing. Once I start that weight moving to the right, then my backswing starts. I hardly see anybody that gets their weight too far to the right unless they slide their hip too far to the right also. As long as I keep this hip in, I can almost feel like I get as much load into my right side as I possibly can. I don't want to let this hip slide like that, but as long as I keep this hip in and I kind of get it turning this way in the backswing, I want you to load as much as you can into the right very early. Now, extremely early in the backswing, then I'm going to start going back to the left. So as soon as my hands get about waist high right here, I'm actually starting my swing to the left. That's getting all my momentum moving to the left as my backswing is still going back. I'm getting to the left, then I'm swinging down. So in a nutshell, almost everybody starts their weight shift way too late. Feel like your weight shift to the right starts before you even take the club back. And then almost everybody starts their weight shift to the left way too late. Feel like you start shifting to the left when your hands are about waist high here. And if you do this correctly, you'll see that I'm getting a shift to the right, left, and then I'm swinging down. Now what that allows me to do is to get everything moving through the ball and on my left side as I'm hitting that golf ball. That allows me to release the club in front, get this great shaft lean, and really get through the ball very nicely. So you'll notice here, if you pay attention to how my weight moves, it goes right early and it goes left very early also. All right, hit that one really nice and solid. Now, that's the first piece. If you don't get that weight shift right, if you're late to the right and then late back to the left, it doesn't really matter what you do. Your weight's not going to be moving to the left. And if you try to add that squat in there, you're going to feel like you're stuck on your right side, you're squatting, and you can just never get to the golf ball. So last thing I want to do is be stuck on my right side where I'm going to tend to ground out behind the ball even more. And then I'm going to squat, which is going to lower me down, and I'm going to ground out even farther behind the golf ball. So if you're stuck on your right side, like I said, that squat is never going to work. Now let me go ahead and show you what's going to work. Now that we got our weight shifting to the left a little bit better through contact, we can add that squat move in there. The same thing as the weight shift. Everybody I see that's struggling with this, if you're struggling with this, your weight is getting left way too late and you're squatting way too late also. Same as the weight shift, same timing. I want to feel like as soon as my hands get to here, I'm actually beginning that squat move. When I do that squat, I'm not only letting my butt drop down here, I feel like I'm almost sitting in a chair slightly. I'm letting my knees separate a little bit too. That allows me to use the lower body. If you feel like you're just all arms, then you're not getting the legs loaded up here. And when I get more bend, then I can fire those and use more body. I almost want to feel like there's talons sticking out of the bottom of my golf shoes, grabbing the ground as I'm doing this. While I'm doing this, I'm shifting to the left. So my hips drop down, my legs, my knees bend and separate, and I shift to the left. That's all one move. That's how you get your weight to your left side. And again, that's starting to happen while you're still in your backswing. Let me do this without a club, and I'll just put my arm across my shoulders. I'll go really slow here a couple times. Early shift to the right. As my hands get here, now I'm starting that shift to the left and the squat at the same time. And then from there, I'm just going to extend up, nice and tall to the finish. That's going to allow my legs to use the ground, and that's going to allow my hips to face the target when I finish. Nice high chest all the way around here like that. Let me do that again. Early shift to the right. As I get to about here, squatting and going left at the same time, and then that good full finish. Let me do it one more time without a club. Just like that. If I add a club to that, you can almost imagine that if I just grab this club with two fingers It's that squat move, and then me using my legs is what allows the club to kind of whip through contact and get a lot of speed as I'm doing that. Now let's go ahead and try one full speed. And the big thing here is squat earlier. Everybody I see is squatting way too late. You want to squat while you're still making that backswing. Let's give it a whirl. All right, hit that one straight as a string there. Now, there's another piece to this, what I want you to add to this. We talked about all lower body here today. So we talked about that weight shift getting to the right earlier and getting to the left earlier. We talked about the squat happening earlier. And if you're struggling with those, that's absolutely what's going wrong.